players, especially me, like the franchise. Strong words from Kelce saying all of that, guys. Any reaction to the comments here at the breakfast table?
Yeah, I'd like to hear the Cowboys fans say something for themselves. You know, Kelce, he hit at a couple different levels. The player level, he went back in time about, you know, the scab players and all that. A lot of deep tissue there for him. Me personally, this week, I took some shots at the Cowboys and said, you're not America's team. You haven't been in 20, 30 years. My parents think you're America's team, all that. And what's interesting when you say that is what the Cowboys fans tweet back to you. And it was a lot of you're not wrong. And it was a lot of, I'll be honest with you, I would look at losing these next several games as an investment in the future. Like, they're at that point where they're just spent, absolutely spent. So I want to hear something from them because they're going into Philadelphia, and I can think of one person better other than Kelce that could lead the Eagles out onto the field in the face of Dallas. It's the same guy who did it at the draft. Let's roll it. Hey, Dallas!
Tonight, I'm representing the Philadelphia Eagles. NFC East champs, divisional champs, NFC champs, and world champs! The world champs! Hey, Dallas, the last time you were in the Super Bowl, these draft picks weren't born!
Voice cracking and all that.
David Akers, amazing. Right after it, we have Drew Pearson come on our show to say, hey, Drew, what'd you think of the kicker going up there and responding to you? He goes, wide right. Yeah. Well, yeah! So go get him, Dallas. Now, forever hold your peace. This is your season.
Kelce did something. He struck a chord with me on this one because he took a shot at the fan base. It's one thing to say, I hate the franchise, or what Lane Johnson earlier said, I just think that the Patriot Way is a fear-based organization. Sure. Taking shots at the organization or the franchise, that's what... When you come at the fans and you're like, they're not real fans, they're not like our fans, that's striking a different chord. That is really, really below the belt. And that's the kind of stuff, if you're a fan watching at home, like, man, I hate the Eagles on the field. I really hate the Eagles on the field. Like, that's where it gets. For him to take a shot at the fan base and say what he said about the Cowboys fans, which... If you go to any American city, there are Cowboys fans, and you start to wonder, are you a Cowboys fan because they were great and they were winning titles in the 90s and 70s, or are you a Cowboys fan through the thick and thin? Every Cowboys fan is really being tested this season.
I love when guys are bold because everybody takes the politically correct approach because you never know what's going to happen in the future. You never know what team you're going to play for. You never know what kind of coaches you're going to encounter down the line in your career. But oftentimes you say, you know what, I'm so invested where I am. My 10 toes are down, as Telvin Smith says, where I am. I can care less if I offend a team, a player, another fan base, because I love the colors that I wear. I bleed these colors. I'm going to ride for this logo, and I'm going to say whatever I need to say moving forward. I remember I was playing for the Detroit Lions, and we had some battles with the Cowboys. And every time, going into every game, it was all about the Cowboys. And I kept thinking to myself, they're not as good as us. Like, this isn't a dominant Cowboys team. And I just got so mad and increasingly more frustrated. And I remember being in Dallas, and I was trying to figure out, what am I going to say to my team? They've been in situations so many times. We've been on the road so many times. They heard me say all these poetic words before every game. And I kept thinking, all right, what do they say about Dallas? What do they think about Dallas? What's the perception of Dallas? Oh, they're America's team. They're American. And I started thinking, wait a minute. Are they America's team? Right. And I remember looking to the eyes of my players pregame, and I said, they say that these guys are America's team. And I pointed right down where they were warming up. And I said, but we're America's heartbeat. We stand for more. Okay. We mean more to this nation right now. And that's what we basically are saying about the Cowboys right now. There's other teams that the nation are more concerned about than the Cowboys. This isn't years past where we couldn't wait to see the Cowboys play. They're struggling. And I think for the Eagles and for teams that they're facing moving forward, they're saying, stop hyping up the Cowboys. Talk about teams that are playing well. So I feel Kelce. You know, oftentimes words like this, they don't go over easy. But if you're bold enough to say it, I could respect the confidence.
Well said by everybody across.